Larry, I want to thank your organization for its support and continue to support us as we continue to dream on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Carolyn. This is not working too well here. Thank you very much. I really want to extend my thanks to the board of directors of the organization. I know it's very difficult to put a full day of work or family obligations and then go to a meeting and have to deal with this guy over here, you know. Just kidding. Keith's a great guy. I want to, first of all, on behalf of our board of directors and our staff, thank you. We have our board member here. We have Hugo Morales. Raise your hand, Hugo. Stand up. And thank you from on our board of directors. And Maria Arañas works for Bodybuilding, a very good partner. Letty Reteria, raise your hand. She told me she's not going to stand. I'm not going to make you stand. But we're really happy to be a partner in the work of the collaborative. You're doing great work, and I just would urge everybody here to realize that this organization cannot do it alone, and I would just encourage you to find out ways that you can help, because there's a lot of work to be done, and only we have to work together, and I just really happy to be part of this. Thank you.
You know what, I do want to say something else about the California Endowment. I've had opportunities here in the last maybe few months to kind of get on the national type of scope. We've been invited, the coalition has been invited to numerous different things nationally to talk about a certain issue that we have kind of thought of as a very important issue, and that's about people of color-led organizations and capacity building. This is a major issue. I mean, it ended up, they found out that there was only 4% of all philanthropy dollars went to people of color-led organizations, and when there was a lot of the need in neighborhoods of color, but not very many people was getting the money that was in the neighborhoods. So the California Endowment and some other foundations have gotten together, and by the way, the California Endowment was found to be one of the best in the country at making sure that their grants were very equitable to communities of color. They were number one. They were probably the best in the country. Give them a hand for that, because they saw the need. And for some of my friends that may not understand what we're talking about here, I mean, a lot of times in communities of need, you don't get the money that goes right down to the grassroots organizations. It's always a top-heavy type of operation, and very few people from the community have a say-so in what their needs are. So California Endowment saw this early in the game, and they decided to be a player in that right away. But it ended up that it went to a national level. I mean, we started in California. Coalition worked with Green Lining Coalition out of Berkeley, and we decided to, I didn't know if I was half crazy or I was doing the right thing, but we decided to be one of the nonprofit organizations that we would talk on radio shows, talk about the need in neighborhoods like West Fresno. And it took off. I mean, it ended up that we had a bill, we submitted a bill through the state where we went to the Latino caucus, the Asian caucus, and the African American caucus. We went to the state and they put a bill in, I think it was CODA bill. They put it in, and it ended up, it got defeated. But still, these foundations didn't say, okay, it's done with, forget about it, okay. No, what they did, they decided, let's get together and let's talk about this and let's make this happen. Let's start helping the communities of need. So California Endowment and Dr. Ross were on the front end of this. So they just didn't get the award because they helped fund the coalition here in Fresno. They got the award because of their work they do throughout the valley, throughout the state, they are recognized. I just got back from Baltimore, Maryland with the Casey Foundation. I went to a meeting there. The Kellogg Foundation was there. Some of the largest foundations in the world. They wanted to know about this California issue and how we were able to convince, or the foundations got together to make this happen. So they are to be applauded. The California Endowment is to be applauded for being on the front end of making some great change, because that's going to change a lot of stuff. Whether we realize it or not, that's going to make it a lot more equitable, a lot more opportunity for access for people to build capacity in neighborhoods. Because that's what we lack. And I know, a lot of times we don't have the capacity in the neighborhoods. We have the heart, we have the desire, but they don't have the capacity. A lot of times we don't have the capacity. And so it's foundations like the California Endowment that makes the capacity happen. And I hope I'm making sense to Deborah, because she'll let me know later on. Deborah Whittle, because she works with the California Endowment and Earl. But I think that they need to be thanked, and they need to be known that we have a great foundation right here in Fresno. So give them another hand. Okay. And I would, of course, I would get in trouble every year. I would get in trouble if I did not thank my beautiful wife, Jackie. People might think, they might see us sitting in two different places, but I got X'd out over at my own table over there. Some other people sat there, but that's my lovely wife, and I thank her for again taking time to sing at our event. Candace, who's next? Hey, Gloria, why don't you come up now, and let's have Gloria Ponce Rodriguez do a presentation.
Thank you, Keith. I don't know about a presentation, but I have the pleasure of presenting the Presidential Award to a youth. But I also want to just recognize my students in New Millennium and to let them know that I really believe in their leadership. And would you please give them a hand of applause, please? But before I introduce this dynamic individual, I just want to say a few words. As we start our daily regimen, some of us point our feet in a direction of the least resistance. It always feels comfortable to do so, especially because we want our day to start off on a good note. Our youth face many obstacles, such as peer pressure, academics, poverty, drugs, and other deteriorating issues. But then you have those individuals that overcome these challenges. We have a generation that is known to be the most challenging generation in our history, the Y generation. However, we also have those youth who are paving the path for others to follow. That is what you see in this young man, Jesse Andrews. His positive attitude, witty personality, tenacity, and dedication to his community make him a leader amongst his own generation. I would like to read his bio. Jesse Andrews is a 17-year-old senior attending Thomas Edison High School. He was born in Los Angeles, California, and raised by his grandmother. Jesse has lived in Fresno for 6 years. At the age of 13, he became actively involved in community affairs, church, and committed his life to the Lord. Currently, he is a teacher for the Greater Macedonia Community Church of God in Christ. Jesse is actively involved in the media, a youth organization. Can those students stand up, please, so you can be recognized? The No Youth Media students, they come to New Millennium and conduct their workshops there and do a lot of their planning. I see them very, very committed. The young people, this media organization has a voice in the community through videos, creative writing, and journalism. As part of the No, he worked on their planning committee for the Youth Forum Lockdown on School Violence. Jesse has taken a strong position in the River Park curfew, serving to help implement a plan to bring peace between City Hall and teens all over the city. And sometimes that's hard for our young people. That's why it's so important that we involve them in our activities and bring them to functions like this to see what they have, something to look forward to. Jesse Andrews helped the Fresno Regional Foundation Grants Advisory Board in raising money through philanthropy for organizations and youth in the county area, and youth-led projects to help better serve their communities. And I can go on and on and on and keep on reading for you, but right now I think this is about Jesse Andrews. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse, are you here? Where are you?